A wrench. Open end? Size 46? It is falling. 65 floors of empty air beneath it. New York in the September morning haze. It passes a beam where a Mohawk ironworker stands. A second, no more. Past the scaffolding on the 50th. Past a 40th floor window where a crystal chandelier is lit and someone is having breakfast on porcelain. Past a Coca-Cola sign on a warehouse roof. Past a bread line on the sidewalk. 200 meters, 8 seconds. It lands in the canvas of a tent in Central Park, at the feet of a boy, 8 years old. He is eating something cold out of a tin can. He picks up the wrench. There is a stamp on the steel. Property of Rockefeller Center Incorporated. He puts it in his pocket. He does not understand that, 65 floors up, someone has probably just died. Today is the 20th of September, 1932. 7:30 in the morning. In 4 hours, on one of the beams of this construction site, 11 men will be photographed eating lunch over the void. The picture will end up in every history book of the 20th century. You are one of those 11 men, and you do not know it yet. Sean Murphy, 24 years old, West 48th Street, Hell's Kitchen, second floor above a laundry, a room 5 paces by 4, a bed, a wardrobe, a courtyard window, a gas mantle over the sink. Your mother washes sheets at the Belmont Hotel, 60 cents an hour, 12 hours a shift. Your father walked out in October of 29 after the crash. Nobody has seen him since. You had a brother once, but he was an infant in 1916. The Spanish flu. You do not even know his name. Your mother will not say. You wake at 5:45, bread with butter, black coffee, the subway from 8th Avenue down to 47th, 20 minutes underground. You climb up into the daylight, and above you, sprawling across 10 acres, grows the largest construction project of the Great Depression. $250 million. 1931 through 1939. 14 Art Deco buildings. 10 acres in the middle of Manhattan. The client, one man, John Davison Rockefeller Jr., son of the first American billionaire, inherited $475 million when his father died, $10 billion in 21st century money. The story of this construction site is a disaster that got dressed up as a victory. The original plan was a new home for the Metropolitan Opera. The opera signed a 24-year lease in 28, $80 million committed. A year later, Black Tuesday. The opera walked away. Rockefeller was left with an empty lot and a ground rent of $3.3 million a year for 24 years ahead. He decided to build it himself. It is September 32 right now. Unemployment in the United States, 23%. 8 blocks north of you, in Central Park, almost 2,000 people live in tents. They call it Hooverville, after the president, who did nothing. You earn $9 a day, 4 times what a school teacher makes. The ground rent on the land under this construction site costs Rockefeller $9,041 a day, every day. Today, you stand between those numbers. Below, Hooverville. 8 blocks south, the mansion. Between them, the steel skeleton you work on. You are a connector, a structural ironworker, the second most dangerous job in America in 1932. Only loggers on the West Coast die faster. Your work is simple. Catch a steel beam from the crane, mount it on the column, drive in the temporary bolts. Move to the next. 40 beams a day. 20,000 beams in the whole building. You work in a pair. Your partner is Joseph Diabo, 31 years old, Mohawk from the village of Conoway, Quebec. 6th generation of bridge builders in his family. Mohawks have been working high steel since the Victoria Bridge in Montreal in 1886. White people have a myth. Mohawks are not afraid of heights. It is not true. They are afraid, like everyone else. The work just pays 3 times what a teacher makes on the reserve. Joseph does not drink, does not smoke, does not speak on the job. He sends every paycheck to his wife and 3 children in Conoway, 600 kilometers north. On weekends, he takes the overnight bus and rides 12 hours home. 46th floor. A beam is rising on the crane cable. You sit astride a column, catching it with your boots. Joseph stands on the neighboring beam. No safety harness, no net. 300 meters of empty air below you. You can see taxi headlights crawling along 6th Avenue. In your tool belt, a 46 wrench. If you drop it, it goes through a person. That is not a figure of speech. From the 60th floor, a 2-kilogram steel wrench accelerates to 200 kilometers an hour. You do not drop the wrench, ever. It is the first thing you tell a new man. The first thing and the only thing. Now, while you sit on that beam, look 8 blocks south. 4 West 54th Street. A limestone mansion in the Beaux-Arts style. 25 rooms. a picture gallery on the second floor. Picasso, Cézanne, Matisse. 15th century tapestries in the dining room. John D. Rockefeller Jr. is brewing tea. Anglo-Indian, in Royal Dalton porcelain. Breakfast, smoked salmon, a boiled egg. Toast. Newspapers, Times, Wall Street Journal, Herald Tribune. Headlines, Roosevelt leads in California. The bonus army has been driven out of Anacostia. Stocks up on light volume. He is 58. He does not drink alcohol. He does not smoke. Donates 20% of his income to philanthropy. Funds the League of Nations, malaria research, the restoration of French cathedrals. In the hallway, his only daughter is coming downstairs. Abigail Rockefeller. To her friends, Babs. 29 years old. A camel hair cashmere coat, a dark green felt cloche. Kid gloves. Babs has been married once, divorced in 1930. Today her father is taking her on an inspection visit to the construction site. She has never been. She is curious. At 11:07, a black Packard pulls up to the service entrance of Rockefeller Center. Two people get out. The father in a black overcoat and a Homburg. The daughter in cashmere, in crocodile shoes, over a steel deck dusted with coal soot. You see her from below, from the beam. She looks up. For a second, your eyes meet. She is wearing $200 of cashmere. You are wearing a $4 work jacket. She looks away first, not from shame, just her father is calling. By 10 in the morning, a new man is climbing up to column 38. Vincent Russo, 17 years old, Brooklyn, Bensonhurst. His father is a stonemason. His mother does laundry on Atlantic Avenue. His 10-year-old sister Rosa wants to be a teacher. Vinnie's uncle, Salvatore, 2 months ago handed the foreman $200 in cash for his nephew's spot on the crew. $200 is 4 months of Salvatore's salary. He delivers bread for Carlo's Bakery on Mulberry Street. Vinnie has not told his uncle that he is afraid of heights. He looks down, his knees buckle. He looks up, he cannot breathe. He smiles, because smiling is all he can do right now. You see him from the next column over. You are not stupid. You started at 17 yourself. You know what it is like to fake the fearlessness. But you also notice something else. They have put Vinnie on the East Bay. That is the position Tony Ferrario is working. Welder from Queens, 34, 3 kids. Last week, Tony wrote a complaint to the inspector about the bolts being delivered to the East Bay, the wrong grade. The shipping invoice says grade A. The crate has grade C in it. Under double load, they will crack within a year. Someone swapped them, and the price difference per floor is $12,000. Tony wrote. Tony sent the complaint up. Tony is, right now, welding a seam on the 25th floor. Vinnie is on the 81st, directly above him. At 11:45, the foreman whistles. Lunch. On a beam on the 81st floor, beneath the third crane, 11 men are being arranged. 6 Irishmen, 2 Mohawks, 1 Italian, and 2. Nobody will ever remember where they were from. Each man is handed a lunch pail. Some get cigarettes. One gets a bottle of lemonade pretending to be whiskey. The real thing is illegal until December 1933. The photographer is Charles Ebbets, a staff professional on Rockefeller's payroll. Today, his job is publicity stills for the New York Herald Tribune. Ebbets has been working since 5 in the morning. By the end of the day, he will make 3 photographs that will outlive him. One of them is yours. You sit 4th from the left, between Joseph Diabo and Sean O'Brien, the riveter foreman, from Long Island. In your hand, a ham sandwich you did not finish. Your feet dangle 800 feet above the sidewalk. The wind is 50 kilometers an hour. You are not holding anything. The beam is just wide, 12 inches. Ebbets shouts from below. Hold it, fellas. Smile. Look natural. You look into the camera. You do not smile. September 20th, 11:57 in the morning. 1/8 of a second. The shutter. Vinnie is not on this beam. They did not call him up. Too young, too new. They sent him back to the East Bay, 81st floor, to stack steel plates, to prep the position for the afternoon shift, alone. After lunch, the news travels the site in whispers. Tony Ferrario, the welder from the 25th, the one who wrote to the inspector. He fell into an open elevator shaft. Open shaft, no barrier. Standard practice in 32, nothing in violation. The police report, accident, no witnesses. The family is offered $200 in compensation, same amount Salvatore paid for Vinnie's spot. Tony's wife will refuse to sign. Her brother will tell her not to sign. It will be a long story, and it will not end well, but you do not know that yet. What you do know is this. Vinnie is standing right now on the same position Tony stood on. You know what bolts are in the East Bay crates? The wrong grade. and you know that the foreman, Sean O'Brien, your countryman, from the same County Cork village your mother was born in, said in a bar on 48th last week, that Italian kid will not last. His uncle asks too many questions.
Italian kid won't last.
You heard. You said nothing. And right
questions.
now you are still saying nothing. But by 6 in the evening, you will walk past the locker room. And you will see Vinnie there, alone. Vinnie is on the bench, untying his boots. His fingers are shaking. Not much, a little, but it shows. You sit down next to him, light a cigarette, say nothing for 2 minutes. Vinnie speaks first. Sir,
I'll do it tomorrow. My uncle vouched for me. I can't shame the family.
he vouched for me. You nod. You take a drag. You put the cigarette out on the wooden bench. It leaves a black mark.
Tomorrow you're on the 38th. I'm taking your beam.
I am taking your beam. Vinnie does not get it. He asks why. You say, because I worked it out with O'Brien. We are swapping.
Because I worked it out with O'Brien. We're swapping. I want to test the joint on the 81st. None of your business. Just do as you're told.
Vinnie nods. He does not know what you just did for him. He will be grateful, not knowing what for. His whole life he will be grateful, not knowing what for. You did not work it out with O'Brien. You decided it yourself. Tomorrow, you will come in half an hour early, and you will be on the East Bay before anyone notices the switch. By the time O'Brien figures it out, it will be too late to pull you off. September 21st, 7:45 in the morning. 81st floor, East Bay. The beam is rising on the crane cable. You catch it. You do this 200 times a day. It is your trade. The beam comes. You catch it with your boots, sit astride. You pull the temporary bolt from your pocket, slide it into the hole, tighten with the wrench. 1 turn, 2, 3. The bracket below you makes a sound you hear maybe once in 10 years. A thin metallic crack, a sound that should not exist. You do not think, the body does it. You shove yourself backward, grab the next column with your left hand. The right slips. The wrench slips out of your palm, and it is falling. 65 floors of empty air, 200 meters, 8 seconds. You hang from one arm. Joseph Diabo is 6 meters away. He sees, slow, exact, no words. He swings the next beam toward you. You catch it with your right. Pull yourself up. Sit. Your heart is hammering loud enough you can hear it in your throat. No one was hurt below. You will check the papers that evening. The sidewalk was cleared for lunch. The men were getting coffee. The wrench landed in an empty Hooverville tent. You go back to work in 5 minutes. You say nothing. Foreman O'Brien looks at you from across the site. He nods. You nod back. The two of you understand each other. A year later, in the lobby of the RCA building, Diego Rivera will be painting a fresco. Commissioned by Nelson Rockefeller, the youngest son. Nelson is 24. He is enthusiastic about Mexican modernism. He wants something contemporary in the new building. Rivera will paint Lenin into the composition. Rockefeller will demand it be removed. Rivera will refuse. On February 9th, 1934, the fresco will be smashed with jackhammers, overnight. 63 square meters, $21,000. The family will explain the decision by saying Lenin does not fit the aesthetic of a corporate lobby. You will read about it in the paper. By then you will be working on the Time Life building, 600 meters away. You will think, a painting can be painted again. Tony cannot. On April 30th, 1939, Rockefeller Center will officially open. President Roosevelt will send a telegram. All 14 buildings, finished. $267 million spent. 3,000 guests at the opening. The workers will not be invited. You will never see Vinnie Russo again. After 2 years on Rockefeller Center, he will take a job in the Nevada desert, the Hoover Dam. After that, rumors of California. After that, he disappears. 1956. You are 48. You are not a connector anymore. Your back gave out after 20 years. You work nights as a watchman at a port in New Jersey. No wife. No kids. You never had a brother. Your mother died in 45, 2 weeks after VE Day. Breast cancer, diagnosed too late. You walk into a bar on 10th Avenue after your shift. You order a beer. There is a magazine on the counter. Life. September 56. 24th anniversary of the photograph. Special edition. You open the page. The famous picture. 2-page spread. 11 men on a beam. Caption from the editor. Lunch atop a skyscraper. Photographer unknown. Subjects unknown. Submit information to editorial. You look at the fourth from the left. That is you, 24 years ago. A sandwich in your hand, your feet dangling. You are not smiling. You finish the beer, you pay 18 cents. You leave. You do not write to the editor. Outside, on the sidewalk, a man in his early 30s walks past. In his hand, a rusted 46 wrench. The stamp worn off. He carries it in his palm like a charm, never lets it out of his hand. He is the boy from the Hooverville tent, 24 years ago. Now, he drives a truck. He has 2 kids. The older one is named Sean, for the saint, not for you. He does not know you. You do not know him. 8 of the 11 men in this photograph will remain unidentified. Forever.